Hi, what's up YouTube? This is Rear Station Reacts on another edition of Saturday multi-header sessions. This is going to be session number 13, and we're going to react to the following. Episode 8 of Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. Episode episode 9 of Yashahime, sorry. Episode 8 of the third season of Gochuumon or Gochuusa, episode 8 of Kamisama ni Nitai, or The Day I Became a God, and then episode 9 of the second season of Mahouka, or Mahouka's guy Rettousei, Raihousha-hen. So, I know, like, to anyone who is from, to any of you, I know Nick's familiar, like, to what happened the other day, the previous day's morning, like, what happened to me with, like, that was like just a really turbulent, like, within the last 12 hours, like, actually did count, within a span of 12 hours, I was subjected to quite the very uncomfortable, very excruciating of emotions. Like, we watching Violet Evergarden as part of a Thanksgiving special, which is kind of technically special because of it, but I do plan to do future binge rewatch streams. And then, like, that hit, and then we get to the Wandering Witch episode 9, and I know, like, not everyone cried. Some people thought, some people thought the episode was underwhelming was bad, or just laughable for some reason, but I couldn't. When I tried not to watch that episode to look at scenes or even clips of that episode again for reasons. I legit tried. Like, best comedy anime suggestions to make your mood happy. I did want to try to react to Tony Cobb, but I didn't feel like it was a good way to, whip back into that. I feel like it would have to be something I would have to watch when I'm a bit more ready to take in that. Like, I hadn't have time. Jujutsu Kaisen, like, later that day, was a little bit more of an easier, like, a better sense of a segue for me, at least emotionally. My Bride is a Mermaid. Oh yeah, Sento Hanayome. I didn't particularly like it. I wasn't particularly fond of it. I don't think it was that good, but it was funny. I will say that. I will say it gave me some, it provides quite the entertainment for sure. I just don't think it's the sort of comedy I feel that to me. Like, when you consider other, other shows, like, it just Kamisama did that sort of thing for me. It had that sort of effect. But yeah, defects, like, and also, yeah, Setokai Yakudomo. It, like, not a lot of people talk about nowadays, but it's still there. There's a movie coming up. And by the way, this will be sort of a casual stream too, so I know I'm reacting to this, but we could talk about whatever. Okay, not anything, not everything or anything, like, things that would be, anime related to a good extent. And I just realized, like, I would hold this stream earlier now that they're delivering more of the subs on time, but I'd rather just kind of keep it around 8:30 or 9. This was originally going to be 8:30, but I decided to switch it up to 9 because I caught myself in a little lapse, and yeah, 30 minutes just got eaten off from my usual routine. Yeah, that is it. So, new one comedy, Tony Kawa's thing. Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, that's a fun one. Well, it's not a rom-com, but it's one of these fluffy, I don't want to say cartoons, but just like those fluffy comedies, that you kind of see in like a Cartoon Network sort of format, kind of like Yuma-kun, right? Something like that. But anyways, so Yashahime episode 9. I'm just going to go. I'm not even going to recap. I'm just going to go right into this because I don't want to eat too much time. But let's just say that we I'm going to be honest with you right now. I'm getting a little bored of this, the how they're doing the story. So maybe it's because of some of the cliches that just kind of feel off in the way, or it's just like, yeah, I know you're going to be there, but it's just like when they present them, it's just like, oh, okay, that's it, But then again, like, you don't want to start pulling stuff from pulling the map from underneath, and then like just cause a wreck. When do I think Grand Blue 2 will come? Never, unfortunately. I didn't like the anime as much. In retrospect, the manga is really good though. Okay, I'm not gonna say really good, but the manga is actually a pretty worthwhile read. I mean, unfortunately, the chapters don't release very frequently because it is a seinen manga, not a shonen manga. Sadly. But anyways, episode 9, and we can still discuss things. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. I mean, yeah, it is funny, but I'm not gonna lie when I say I could do without too many shots of naked ass men in Grand Blue, like literally. There was that funny, there was a funny tennis episode. It's just like, and then like they look like titans. That part was pretty funny. Yeah, like winter 2021 is going to be a lot of sequels. I can't wait to see Eurocamp again. Like fuck Promise Neverland season 2 and Attack on Titan and the Attack on Titan final season. Eurocamp is something I'm looking forward to. But yeah. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Jet. I forgot where the anime left off, like which chapters, because it would help me determine um when they will do the actual when they will make a season 2, like if there's enough content for it. Because I know I posted like, oh, Cells at Work's only gonna have 8 episodes. Then I realized it only has 8 episodes because there's not much more content to be adapted. According to what I've been updated with. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I would have loved the 12 episodes. A 12 episode season would have been more normal, but it is what it is. Yeah, Eurocamp is one of the fun. Like, I know we're never gonna get Girls Last Tour second season because of the way it is. Like I read the entire manga. It was very wholesome, but it was also very glum. Like it was such a weird tone, and I really liked it. I didn't like it as much that I think I give it 10 out of 10. It's a solid 9 out of 10 for me though. The anime. It had a nice dual vibe to it because these two girls said going around a post-apocalyptic setting, trying to find things to survive. But at the same time, it just feels so chill, so laid back. I think the anime left us on chapter 28. I mean 48. Hmm. Well, so if that is the case, as you say, then I think we may need to wait a lot more because I think they're around chapters in the chapter 65, I think. Yeah, just go ahead, guys. Just keep the chat moving, man. Like Nick, if you can, just try to ping some people who might be interested in just a chill session of me reacting while kind of just talking with people in the chat about recent anime related things. I'll try to keep politics and economics out. I know it's a fucking hellhole with COVID still being a thing, especially with more cases here. And the LA County announced sort of a lockdown that will last until like December 20th. If I remember correct, I think. And that sucks. It's not like a total lockdown. Okay, my bad. It's not a total lockdown, but it's more like people from multiple households cannot gather. So basically, you can't just hold like a multi-out barbecue or any like gatherings that involve people from different residents and all, something like that. You could still. I'm pretty sure you could still go to work normally. I'm pretty sure you could go get your groceries normally and all that. But in terms of like gatherings for events and all, I don't think you can do that. Oh yeah, it does come monthly. It's a CNN. Grand Blue is a CNN manga. I mean, money is sort of a thing that you have to be more aware about. I mean, we have to worry more about money here, but then again, like we need. I know we need to consider, but we need to get those groceries. Like we can't just survive on canned food all day. Like we have at least we have options, unless like God forbid an actual apocalypse happens, and then canned food is a must. Rationing it would be a must. You don't get in trouble. Okay, so Nick, I think the reason why a lot of light novels and manga are starting to end at around 2020 may or may not. I'm pretty sure, like, even though I know it's obvious, it may be kind of obvious that it is due to how the pandemic has been affecting people, not just on a physical basis, but like on a mental basis. Like, some people try to wrap up things, try to deal with more personal stuff because of the pandemic, or they're just actually ending it for real. Because I feel like this is the year where they have to wrap things up. You know, considering that it's the next decade, and so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they do behind the scenes with that. Yeah, no, 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 no. No, it's fine. I get what you're saying, Nick. Oh god, that guy looks that kid looks like the little annoying ass 10 dude from freaking Urusei Urusei Yasura. God damn it. It's gonna be a mixture of mostly sequels and then a bunch of little other animes that we probably discussed gonna fall under the radar. Again, I hate when people say, "Oh, this year sucks. The next one's gonna be better." Oh, this is like a rinse repeat, rinse repeat, rinse repeat. I know they're not always not all seasons are equal, but there is no best or worse. There is most under. There be more underwhelming seasons, but I don't think. But say the worst is kind of a little too much of a hyperbole. You know what I mean? And my job and my obligation is to find at least one gem in every season. One gem in every season whenever possible. I mean, that's kind of also why I'm doing reactions. In all honesty, half demons. But yeah, I okay. I just got gapped. But like I thought they were talking about the what kind what kind of hocus pocus magic. Oh yeah, like I hate when the people say the anime that hidden they get hidden under the radar. We're gonna be dusted by all these by all the popular ones. It's just like oh those ones don't even matter because that's why I'm touching I'm that's why I'm touching the non-popular ones that nobody watches. That is that is boggers. There's a thing like I don't know what happened to Attack on Titan after season 3, man. Based on what I've read in the manga, I just like where did you want to go with this with Aaron and you know all these silly ass political shit. Like I understand that one paraphrase is like, oh, the guy like considering to just traumatize Aaron so much, now he's come back to revenge for a vengeance. Like I forgot where that statement was, but I can get it. But did we need to go into that direction? It's almost about as bad as how the Promised Neverland manga went. Like the art and the production value will still be pretty good, but story wise, I just feel like it got discombobulated. Withdraw. Use the move withdraw. Zap cannon. Oh, well, nobody. Well, I don't care, man. I mean, they'll eventually watch it when the replay comes up. So I don't give a shit. But it would still would help to have more people even then. Like I'm just saying. It does sound like a finisher move. But yeah, like when my problem with the Providence Neverland manga is when after they escaped, they're supposed to do the whole mystery thing. They like that's what they're supposed to do. I don't care if people are just saying, "Oh, it's supposed to be sort of like a more of a survival series." You made the impression that it's supposed to be like a mystery thriller sort of thing, like something that builds more of like a very ominous suspense. Now, what did you? Now you just turn it into something that's akin to Mirai no Nikki, or even Akame ga Kill, if anything. I mean, he's eternal. The tortoise live. I mean, no tortoise. A tortoise live pretty freaking long. Don't underestimate that. Yeah, I don't know why did they decide to go that route. I'm not saying I have a alternate a ideal alternate solution alternate route for it, but just how they handle things with all these silly where the twists they do have just seem so off. It just seems kind of silly when they do get implemented because it just basically betrayed what Promised Neverland was initially literally promised. Like the mystery, the horror stuff, like the sort of vibes you get from horror, from a lot of horror fiction. Yeah, like Attack on Titan too. Like it was some really fun stuff, like fun, entertaining stuff, and with a lot of deep and with a lot of the some great tones and implications, some great characterization and stuff. When they after season 3, I just feel like it lost. I don't. It just lost it, especially when the revelations started to become a hindrance to the story progression itself. It also became tiresome too, which doesn't help. Like even if you're not binging it, if you're just watching it just regularly, like it just felt so great, especially when everything a lot of stuff in season 3 is a lot of just talk about silly stuff. Like they can't even get a freaking compromise. And then like they just go on this political farce, and then Aaron attains, Aaron goes to some freaking like conscience to where he's convinced to be like, fuck shit, let's destroy everything. Like what? Even without remembering the details, it just felt so off. Yeah, announcing what you're going to do while letting your opponent have the time space to attack you. I know this is a thing in Simple Gear, but it doesn't feel as silly as here. It doesn't feel as dumb as here because apparently, like, there's no amazing transformation sequences and action scenes in here, unfortunately. Don't even get me started on like how Promised Neverland. I don't know if you read through the whole thing, Nick, but they suddenly pull out somebody that considers it a character who considers himself the god of the worlds, the higher dimensional being, knows everything. What? Well, at least everything in the Neverland setting, almost everything. And literally, like, main character just gets a communicating with your classic villain telling what he's gonna do while the hero thinks the next move, right? Symphogear, they in Symphogear they don't always have that, but when they do have time to talk, I mean, it doesn't feel like excruciating. It doesn't feel so out of place. Now, the whole transformation sequences in Symphogear is more like a feast for the eyes, just like with any transformation. Just like with any series with transformation episode, transformation sequences. There ain't no hero hey there ain't no hero hey move though. The guy in Yu Yu Haku, when he pulls off the bandages in his arm, just releases a black dragon energy and shit. Can't really compare to that. Oh yeah, for sure. It's all when they do transformations, like it can get you like very stoked by how beautiful looking it is. Simple Gear does a bit of both to where it also gets you hyped. It's just that's why Simple Gear is something else in that regard. It's an acquired taste too for Simple Gear because a lot of people will not like the sounds because they don't like bow. They don't apparently they don't like the singing while fighting sort of setup. But then again, it can be hypocrites because Macross Delta sorta did that, and some of those people try to give Macross Delta a pass, even though I felt like Delta was pretty lackluster because I felt nothing from the characters and not enough from the characters of Delta. Like they weren't bad, but they just kind of just couldn't. They just kind of just stuck within their own archetypes, and so it just ended up standard level. Not bad by any means. Like, so yeah, like when people go and go out of their ways to call it, when they praise the hell out of it, like I know I'm not always good with this either, but some of these other people just like when they say one thing is bad, but but their picks are amazing. For but they highlight the same sort of elements, but from a different perspective, or they're like their opinions contradict. Like I can get it if you're like I can get it if like it's like a different, it's like a different, like there's a different setup here and there, like some differences here and there. Like if you can explain it, I can get it. It's complicated though. I just feel like those sort of people make it too complicated. Like when you don't need it, when it doesn't need to be. But I will say that I will not. I usually don't like series that try to be so that where people make it out to be where they're supposed to be so deep, but it's so vague. Like I'm just sitting here like, what? So am I supposed to care? And am I supposed to say it's good because it's so vague like that? With the it's so vague and ominous like that with it. I can't. I cannot. I cannot give it a pass because of that. That's just how it is. Okay, so Yashahime, so yeah, not much happened to Yashahime. Like, little guy here, his father gets killed by the guy, and they take his shell. The girl, the three heroes help him get it back. And there's some, you know, even though they can't resurrect the father, at least he can give the shell back, so it can be like more of a rest in peace. So he can settle in peace and, you know, not feel like he's being used. Pretty typical. I mean, it's pretty like a one-off episode too. But nothing much I can really get from here as for the rest of the series, unfortunately. Yeah, it also depends on how it fits. It really varies from story to story. Even rip-offs, like it can really it can sort of depend. But you know, when something does a rip-off, it will start to feel like a little bit, you know, redundant, because like you've seen this before, and sometimes, and it's not always bad, but if it's done and then like in a more inferior, if the presentation is more inferior, like it lacks more than the originals, then there's a problem with that. But but nowadays there's nothing truly of an original idea, or like a truly 100% of a novelty. There can be partially, like could be mostly an original, a unique idea, a mostly novel sort of concept, but never 100%. Rise is the best girl in Gochuumon. I won't. What's up, Mad Lad? I wouldn't. I'm not against that. Rise is the most mature of the cast here in Gochuumon, or Gochu however you say it. But yeah, let's go into episode 8 of season 3, and it's just more of that little fluff that you just kind of like with series like this. But again, it's one of these where you can't just randomly recommend to anybody, but at the same time, it's just like there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just a cult. It's sort of an anime culture thing. Probably not the best way to say it, but it's just like it's not for. It's for those who are okay with this sort of theme presented. I mean, it's part of it's part of Japanese anime culture, man. Like, I have nothing against it, but yeah, episode 8, season 3, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. As usual, Kouko's just sleeping in as usual. Like, and Shino has to play. No. Whoa, pause. What? Interesting. What happened? Okay. There's no way to just... I don't know if she wants to be like a PE teacher though. She just said elementary school teacher, not specifically a PE school. Oh god, I don't. But what happened? Like, I guess the father does not approve for some reason, or just it was just one ginormous misunderstanding with what the father said. Maybe I don't know. We're just left off here, just like wait, Reese is there because some little domestic fallout, like a minor one. It's not like we're not here. We're not here to play Jew Meta stuff yet. Oh, okay. So a little off topic. I was going to mention that there was a change in the opening of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I saw it, but I forgot to bring it up. I didn't bring it up at the time because I kind of got held up, like, and then I just forgot to bring it up during the discussion the other day because of a number of reasons. One involving the whole Wandering Witch thing. Oh, this can't be. No, no, don't. No, that's only applying to. Do you have chlorophyll? You're not green. Okay. They're pretty messy most of the time. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty messy. Sorry. Obviously, no. Well, actually, you know what? Chino does make a better instructor. Never mind. Never mind. I'm touching from jealousy. Where do you put the next? Oh, okay. Now I'm sort of. I don't know. I don't remember if it was the same school, but I think when we achieve something, I don't know if it was like I don't know where it is. It was elementary or when we used to attend Chinese school courses. Like we get some sort of stamp on our hand or like hand or arms, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, something like that. That's what that reminded me of. Flan? Shit. Now I'm reminded of that ridiculous episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog with freaking Flan. God damn it. That series was just that series was just like yeah, that series was just a whole lunacy. It was fun though. I mean, back when Cartoon Network still had quality. Comfy time. Oh, that's a bad feel. Feels bad. Or something like that. Yeah, they. This feels all too familiar for somehow. Oh, that. Well, Chino looks more like an elementary schooler than Goga, obviously. Yeah, same. I could totally see Risa as a teacher one day. She does have that sort of voice that has that sort of uh instructor esque, sensei like sort of tone to it. I'm not so sure if this is something you should boast about, but okay. That's how childish Coco is. Why are you so fired up over this? This is only available because she's at your house. Oh, she looked like the. She looked good. She looks the professor type. I mean, she's not fit for the actual job, like actually doing the job. Considering how considering how much of a freaking airhead she is. No, that's not allowed. You report this to the higher ups for the. I'm just kidding. Wait, why is a wait? Why is a why is a coffee in a measuring cup? That's not ideal to put hot coffee in normal measuring cups like that. You're gonna. In other words, first person point of view. Although, are they gonna go for second or third person point of view? Oh yeah, yeah, she. I was about to say that, but I just the name just lost me, so I didn't say anything, or more like I lost it. It could be. Oh, I smelled toast. My bad. It's just some, or just synchronized head pat. That's like that cheap looking animation with there, just for the shits and giggles there. Right? I mean, I guess it tries to make you, more comfy enough to do things. Report to the heated pool immediately after you finish. The Rise's father just called him. He's concerned. She put. Actually, yeah, Megu did put more weight around the chest area, but I'm not gonna go further into it, or otherwise I get demonetized. Oh no! Oh, she took that hard, did she? Growth. No comment. I'm not even gonna. I'm not. I don't have a good follow up for it. Nowadays, me trying to do it. Yeah, I can swim, but it's like I swim. Ah, crap. The younger you are, the less likely you're gonna get a cramp. Wait, okay, wait a minute. Wouldn't it because like? No, never mind. It's a bad joke. I'm not even gonna bother saying anything. Reminds me how Utope girls on Panzer and Contact Collection with how Risei gives orders. I need to search up Utope. I mean, what's the full name of it? Do get do 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 let me know and I'll search it up later if I remember. I might have seen it before, but I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, we already said so. She makes a great teacher. Pause. Oh no, I don't like these eyes. And inside is like, what? Oh no, not the interrogation room. And psych. Gee. Yeah, just don't finish it all in one day. Unless if she somehow did not eat for a few days. Yare does it, right, Tipsy? she she is pretty tired. I mean, I did say I did say, I mean, Mad Lad did say that she's the best girl. I mean, because she's the most mature of the entire cast. Oh, it's Jack Sparrow. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. The the awkward drive home. You already ate, yeah. It's a little bit of family issue. I don't think it's gonna be as weighty though, thankfully. I think you'll be fine. It's just kind of awkward. Yeah, but you're also worried for her too. Yeah, it's just one big misunderstanding. That's understandable. Guess you got it too. That's really good. That was really that was quite a nice, a feel good moment there. Oh yeah, he does look like Eugene's stepfather from Grisaya. He kind of does. Actually, like I think about it, he kind of does. I'll look. I'll take a look at the Grisaya page just to make sure. Um. So the whole Usopp thing. Well, is there a stinger here? There is a stinger. I'm pretty sure there is a. Unless if it's just the elongated credits, I will check if there's a stinger. So this episode focused more or less on Risei. So yeah, Risei is. So if when people say Risei's best girl, I can understand where they're coming from. But I mean, variety can help too. The dad, Risei's dad is really nice too. So no stinger. Um, check. Said something about Utope. So hold on. Oh, that one. I don't think I've watched it yet. No, I don't know if that's the one, but I don't think I've watched this one. It's it's an original animation. I think you may. I'd hope you were talking about referring to something else. Yeah, this was mostly a focus episode for Risei, if anything. Which is fine, which is perfectly fine. I have nothing against it. Actually, well, why would I have to have anything against? Like, it's something that it was needed. Cause it's that sort of wholesomeness that you can just really see how the way she interacts with others, she is sort of childish herself, but it's kind of like something you feel. It feels like it's because she has to kind of. She's the kind of the character there that is trying to somewhat control the chaos that happens, especially when it involves Koukou and you know, Chia, and even Shower to an extent. Shower is also pretty mature, but she's a little bit her personality is not someone where she can she's not the Shower's not the sort of person that will try to manage things. Like, I cannot see. I more so see Shower as the actor for the Lapan sort of get gig she got there. I don't see her as a teacher like Risa. I mean, I hope. I mean, unfortunately, I'm like I was on the manga for this at some point, but I stopped because they stopped making translated scans, for some reason, so I'm just kind of stuck there. But yeah, that's where they are with it right now. Like, I don't know, like, what is she gonna end up like? Well, I hope she does succeed as a teacher one day. But let's move on. Kamisama ni Natta. So I was going to say that I would have loved to have an extra little episode to react to, because I know Tonikawa is a thing. I mean, but I'm not so sure if I will have time for it. I mean, I could just go ahead and, because my initial plan was to wait until it finishes airing and then go ahead with things. But I don't know at this point, because I don't know if I would enjoy it as much in just like in sort of a catch up sort of thing. I don't know. Like, I'm not entirely, unfortunately, I'm not as personally invested with the Tonikaku Koi, even though I know it's popular. I just couldn't get myself invested to it, because when you're this exposed to a lot of romantic comedy nowadays, you kind of instinctively get picky. I mean, especially when you've seen similar things. I'm not saying Tonikaku is you know, total ripoff, but it does have some novelty to it, but there are just some parts here and there that I just really don't have the best opinions for. I'm not saying I didn't get anything out of it though. I mean, hopefully when I get into, at least I'm enjoying this. I like the anime a bit more than what the manga does, to a certain degree. At least that's the case. But without further ado, let's go to Kamisama ni Natta. Is this the right one? I legit hope I download the right one. Yeah, I did. Okay, never mind. All right. Episode 8 of The Day I Became a God, and last week, besides the one-off sort of episode, we are starting to get an idea that Hina may not be really always been a god. She seemingly seems to be a normal person. Maybe we don't know. We are getting somewhere. The thing is, for me, I need to worry about, is it worth it? Is the journey going to be worth it? We don't know. I don't know what Jume is going to pull. I really don't. Because they do this with Charlotte, and it utterly disappointed me. So I don't know what you're up to, man, but dude, you gotta pull some good shit here with these last 5 episodes if you want to make it supposedly the saddest anime ever, or in at least recent years. But you're never touching Violet Evergarden. I'm just saying, man. I know episode 5's a thing, but that's one episode. Violet Evergarden was a tumble composition of emotions, so you just cannot reach it. But anyways, enough about that. We'll see how he does. Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. You think here might be some experiment? Oh, I mean, I don't see why not. Oh, and we get flashback? Flashback. Oh, we're getting some. I hope we're getting some good. Not showing the guy's face. She's a prodigy, so she seems to know a lot, know a lot to the point where she can predict things, or it can be something else. Are they gonna pull some? Are they gonna really pull a Fate Testarossa sort of thing go here? Uh oh. Oh, they're still in the flashback. So the grandfather died. I don't feel something about this feels very, 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 very unsettling. I'm gonna say Clannette is not even up there. I'm sorry. Not. I'm sorry. Nothing from After Story made me any bit emotional. And I think it was because of how After Story lulled us into these other side stories I didn't even care for, and so when the drama kicked in, I felt next to the nil. Like I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm being honest about it. The supernatural thing they pulled at the end was also just very very bitter taste. Just like ooh, just really just pull that, just pull a little, an ass pull of a happy ending. Really, guys? Really, June? And now we're back to the present. No, I want more of that. I want more of that flashback. This is the one of the few times I actually ask for more of a flashback. Oh yeah, it was from the movie. Oh, for fuck's sakes! Something is up. It doesn't explain her ability to predict things though. I still don't feel like she actually has a monologue. I'm just the things just feel sketchy here. I don't want to make I don't want to make a prediction based on previous. Well, he's spilling the beans right here. That I'm still trying to figure out how she's doing it. Did the grandfather do something to her? Because you know we got saw a glimpse of the interactions, like, but it has to do with some sci-fi tech shit. I don't know to what extent. I don't know to what specific extent though. I mean, I feel like I want to post a I feel like I want to post a poll, but even though this is kind of one of the minor sort of reactions I'm having on Saturdays, I feel like I want to do a community post, and the poll is like, oh, what's going to be a revelation on Hina? She only saw on the TV and the internet, so she readily agreed. That's a good thing. Also, was it something like with Rather Wandering Witch and this and PA work stuff where they put so much, where they put a lot, where they put quite the amount of details, even with the background. Not all the time, but there's just something about the aesthetics of the background, even if it's not always detailed. It just kind of give it a nice feel to it. Doesn't always turn out pretty, but No, not the mapo tofu. It's not supposed to taste sweet. Oh yeah, it's like the freaking edge of the county sort of. Oh yeah, I have to. Man, if I was out in places like, I kind of wish I was out. I once reside in places like that, so I can be at least used to walking through, very long walks like this. Like, eesh, doesn't help because it's all like these long sleeves. Not exactly built for the summer. I mean, I say this about her clothes, and I'm just glad it's not like freaking Tom. It's not like freaking Tamaki where you just touch it and it just comes off like a freaking wardrobe malfunction. I don't even want to get to how freaking bad Fire Force is, so I'm gonna digress. They're a little too tense here. Oh boy. You're sounding like you're going to, oh, we want to be engaged and we want to get married. That's how you're coming off to, that's how you're gonna come off to the father, to her father like this. What the hell, man? Ooh, her father already be having a family of his own. This fucker. I don't feel good like those two kids just ran out. I don't like his looks either. I don't like how his demeanor is right now. I was just hoping it was more lighter, but boy, wait. Is she being ignored? Is this some Buniko senpai bullshit? Or is this something else? Or is it just ignoring her? Nope. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Man, I got bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray for that one. Uh oh. All right. Can we get something serious this time? Oh, okay. We're getting somewhere. Oh boy. Well, well, just like that was just a weird swing of moods. Like I thought, oh, this is just a playoff, and all of a sudden, like, oh wait, it got even worse than we thought. Really? I thought it would be more. I thought it would be a bigger percentage. But yeah, interesting. Logo sent. Does it have to actually do with the actual term? Oh, that's sort of the condition. Wait, wait a minute. Just a weird. This is just a weird experience. Weird segment right now. It's like I thought like they were tripping, and all of a sudden like, oh, we're back to serious. Like what? So she may be dead, or like, oh, okay. Like, so it's not like he's a dick. It's just like, oh, he thought Hina was dead all this time, huh? So that explains the wife's reaction. If Hina's supposed to be dead, what is with the Hina we see here? Like I would have to think something happened with the sci-fi thing, but to what extent? Um, gosh, I want to have a good, knowledgeable approach to this, but I'm kind of just, I'm just left to just go with the motions here. Do we know if that's really her? Wait, so I'm guessing the whole countdown thing maybe when she does die, actually die herself, when she finally does. But the day will come when you do understand. So her countdown meet should will have does have just more meaning than her just being supposedly delusional or something. Something just feels a little bit contradicting about how, this does feel like something I experienced in Plastic Memories. I wouldn't I wouldn't dis- I wouldn't dismiss the possibility of something similar happening here. The death row technique. Well, yep, set yourself a flag. But you just ended right there. You actual fiend. You actual fiend. Okay. So I don't know. Like I'm just like, oh, we're just playing around, and then all of a sudden we're back to serious. So it's just like, wait, Hina's not, and there have the fact like, wait, Hina's not supposed to be alive. She has that syndrome. Like, so what is Hina doing here? Is that actually Hina, or is like Hina revived with some, given new life with something, but it's only temporary, and hence maybe the countdown sort of thing, which is actually not the end of the world, but more so the end of her life. Or if it's really the end of the world, maybe connected to something. I don't know, because there's still that white-haired young man that was, working the back, some sort of, that was involved with the professor that was her grandfather. So you have to think something happened, some some just twisted ape shit gonna happen. But I don't know for sure. What is Jumena gonna draw up? Whatever he draws up, it better be good. Oh, the boy. Yep. 4 more days to Armageddon. Oh boy. Well then, that was just a weird feeling of an episode. Just like an oh shit sort of thing. Like I don't know why. It's like, oh, it's just like world made milk tea. And then it just occurred to me why I felt lighthearted at the moment, because they didn't recognize her. And but then like, because it's like, oh, because they think the Hina they know is dead, and it's just probably just a person that looks like her. And then like but then like when Yoda tells them it's Hina, they're shocked. So what's really going on here? So Hina's supposed to be dead, by all means dead. The logo sent. So let me check here. Apparently, I'm not familiar with it now, but they just fucking made it. Okay. Muscle deteriorate. Let me see if there's something muscular dystrophy. What kind of disease is there? But basically, her brain and muscles are wasting away with this local syndrome thing. Apparently, it's not. Apparently, from what I can search up, it's not an actual. It doesn't seem to be actual. It doesn't seem to be actual. It's just made up. But it's something to where she has a terminal disease. She's supposed to have been dead, but she's here, alive and healthy, not showing any symptoms. So what's going on? Pretty sure that Hina's grandfather did something and made her something of a god and gave her some of these powers. The whole prodigy thing probably may or may not have said something like during the flashbacks. Probably pertain to something like why she's able to have these sort of, you know, pinpoint predictions that there's just like a miracle. So what's really going on? I cannot put my finger on it, but I do know that that white guy, he seems to may or may not have an idea about, or he's onto things here. So whatever this Hiro Suzuki guy comes up with, you know, turns up with, is gonna be some ape shit. So I initially thought Hina's father was basically an asshole who decided to just go ahead and live his own family, but turns out this guy was living that way because he had to try to move on with it, and now he sees Hina in, or what may just look like Hina, up to him, alive and well. That's a shock to him, and just like he doesn't know what to do. So, things have gotten quite interesting, to say the least. I mean, it could still. I'm not gonna. There's still a chance they could just really screw this up, but for now, it has gotten a bit more interesting, and I praise that for it. I praise that right now. They can, but like I mean, will it completely save the series? Depends on how you feel about it at the moment. As of right now, I'm still have like, I wasn't really feeling how the first half of just bunch of episodes, except episode 5, how just silly they were. You know, episode 5 did have its funny moments, but it was a nice build up for Kyoko. So I have no other complaints for it. But yeah, something to think about, and something I feel like I'm gonna discuss with a lot of others who are catching up to it. So, anyways. I'm just like, I wish I had like the answers to it because of seeing similar stuff, but I don't even with experience. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't like, there's not enough for me, unless if I want to look back, to know what the obvious turnout's gonna be. Because there's no anime original to really look on, you know, to really turn up on, and there is not like this is like some sort of complete ripoff of some similar looking series. I mean, I'm looking through the recommendations. The only thing that it seems more remotely familiar with is Angel Beats, and already and Charlotte, but they're not, and Plastic Memories, but the setup is like, I don't think he knows a robot. I don't think there's really superpowers involved like in Charlotte. Angel Beats, there is no death. So I don't really know. I have a feeling of how, I have a very, very broad idea, a broad, you know, sort of feeling of how it'll end, but I don't know. But I can't make a prediction on it. All I know is that it's gonna be pretty depressing. I mean, provided you don't tap out with some miracle ass pull bull crap like with Afterstory did, which ruined Afterstory for me personally. Because I'm just like, oh, it's just gonna be a solid good series despite all the qualms I've had with the freaking with the whole stories I barely give much shit about. But and then they pulled that with the whole, and then they pulled that at the end. I hope this show doesn't do that. But only time will tell. So yeah. I'm seeing Zash. I'm checking out my Discord server, and Zashu is complaining about Higurashi. Nah, let's not. I don't want to discuss Higurashi on my streams again, because a lot of people are gonna be mixed up on things. Like, I'm sorry, this current Higurashi series just straight up sucks. So there's nothing I can do. There's nothing positive I can really get out of it anymore. She might be a clone. I don't think she's a clone, Nick. There's already too big of an implication to know that that it's likely not that. But it's something to kind of really think about, like, unless if they want to pull another twist. I mean, June, what are you up to, man? But we're gonna get into Mahouka, although I don't really have much to really talk about this one in particular. I mean, I could still talk about the Kamisama one while we react to this. Because frankly, I'm just not really invested with Mahouka anymore. It's just kind of, the series just kind of there. It's entertaining, but it's just there. But I mean, it makes for some funny entertainment when it comes to Miyuki's jealousy, for sure. And yeah, they faced off against those thugs and all, but I just wish I would have to think the light novel stuff did things better. Which I may check out, after this season ends. But yeah, let's get to this. This is gonna be the final one, episode 9, season 2 of Mahouka, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Like I said, we can sort of discuss some of the Kamisama stuff while we at it. Like, she may be a clone, like with Fate Testarossa, but there's already a lot of implications that's likely not the case. Because, like, I mean, because, like, why would Hina have the memories there? So, you know what? Why am I even saying there's no the possibility isn't really high? Hina might be actually, you know what? The possibility of Hina being a clone is actually higher than I initially thought. Because just like, you can't just quit, because if it's not immediately something where they found the way to cure her of the cure of disease, because there's no cure unless if you have some higher dimensional sci-fi to cure it, which we're never going to achieve anytime soon as our existence in history as humanity. But I you know what, I think she may or may not be either a clone or maybe an android that has almost everything akin to a normal biological organism, but her brain is like, and then like maybe her personality and her memories and her intellect, her ability to predict things, is probably something computer programmed. Well, allegedly, but we're not gonna be here talking about robot sentimentality yet. That's a little. That's something like that's a complicated thing because I'm not gonna be here like trying to talk about Ghost in the Shell shenanigans, where that also touched upon like how much how much how much will are you really human or just a robot when you're putting freaking mechanical parts into you for that series. But then again, like when she says the world is gonna end, you don't want to you don't want to dismiss the possibility that she may mean the world may actually end. Even though I know that a lot of clues will point to her saying the world ending just means her dying, most likely. But again, we don't know for sure. We can only just make we can only just throw out assumptions at this point. Even though we don't want to try to rely on too much assumptions. I apologize to anyone like who took my reaction and put it in the mashup, and I'm talking about some a different series. Sorry about that. It was just kind of a bleed over. So you use it. Oh, you mean like resonating? You know, like how the dragons in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 basically resonated? And there's just like a magnified sort of power that could just freaking like crack away the space time fabric of a dimension, something like that. It's something like that. There's something about the concept of power resonating that makes it think that feels a lot more interesting than absorbing or transferring powers, because that's also what interests me with Symphogear, because it wasn't just something where they absorb the powers. They just resonate from, because sound is more of resonate. It can't Sound can't normally be something, an energy you can absorb. It's something that you can use for resignation. Because resonance is sort of like also involves can usually involve like vibrations too, because vibration does create sound. I'm not saying that applies. That's vibration and sound, resonance are with resonance in this one are the same in the same thing because this is sci-fi, of course. I'm discussing this more, by the way, because there's not really much conflict there besides conversation here and there. I mean, they're pretty dumb police, so they can come up with a story out of anywhere with these fellows. Oh, you're gonna. And he gets hit, but yep, friendly fire. Ooh, okay. Oh, I got that armor underneath. Coming in. Looks like they're there for the. They took away their intended hostages, where they could have gotten more information out of them. Well, great. Yeah, you don't want to make it like the Hindenburg tragedy. So where you're getting with that? Just the situation didn't change. Yeah. Hmm. Well, looks like they're. Huh? Not necessarily. Where are you gonna scheme? Where are you scheming, my guy? What trap? I wonder how he's gonna set that sort of trap, though. I'm guessing because what's gonna really entice them to act? This is funny how they refer to them as parasite, but they just look like normal human beings, but they're just not. They just don't act normally. I don't know how to feel about the design of the sort of layout design of this woman's little touch the portable touch device. It just feels off. Personal opinion, but I'm not saying it's objectively bad looking. Yeah. Tachi gets more mad when his close ones get hurt, when the ones he's real closely affiliated to get hurt, like when the ones he cares for, basically. I would be too. So basically, just threaten them so they can release it. It's an underhanded tactic to use, but I don't see why not go for it. I mean, better to is better, at least giving it a shot than not. I mean, that's just facts here. Uh oh. Well, if someone already, well then, someone already freed at least one of the parasites, one or two of them. Well, no, just killed them. Yeah, that was a woman. That was a woman who commanded to do that. Gave her all the coordinates to it. After that, gothic looking lady gave it to her, gave her information. Well then, there's not assassinations are nothing to be proud of. Don't worry, the power of heroism will save her eventually. No, I mean the power of polygamy. I'm telling you, the power of harem is gonna save her from those burdens. Yeah, I mean, it's not like she really much has much of a choice though. To be fair. Oh boy, he looks like that one character from Code Geass. Oh well, shit. No head dragon, huh? That's a that's a that's one hilarious name. Obviously, like, thank you, Captain Obvious. We know it's gonna be 7 people, not one being. Hmm. Well, it does help when you got the history in your browser. Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, no head dragon from previous season. Like, so this is all no head dragon's fault, essentially. This head dude and all that. Callers from Oh yeah, this. Oh that mother that mofo. I swear to God, I hated him so much in Best Wishes. I mean, it's a fitting name though. Unfortunately, yeah. You need to go the roundabout way. Just basically, yeah. Help me take care of these people. But then again, they were trying to address the whole parasite thing in the first place. Yeah, so that explains why she's got the jump. So they essentially have to do the same thing. Does he really want to kill the parasites though? Or does he want to believe they can do something about them without killing them? Well, I mean, is there a stinger at the end? Of course not. Well, so that's that. There isn't much to talk about here, but it's sad. I wanna feel like there's something to talk about, but Mahouka's is sort of a series that there's a lot to talk about, but there isn't much of a conflict thing to go along with it. And when they do the conflict, it does feel like it's come and go sort of thing. I mean, I don't know about you, but it feels a little bit slower in terms of the conflict compared to the previous season, in my opinion. Would be, I mean, so my hopes of having Tasha not take too much of the spotlight are just kind of just poof. I mean, it's still amusing to try to see how they break down everything. I just wish it's not so much of a roundabout sort of thing. But at least we know, at least we have an idea that some familiar organization has kind of reared back its head, and more or less, unless if I freaking missed something, that they're behind this, or like for the most part at least, and for some freaking wild idealistic purposes. We'll see along the way. Yeah, but there isn't much to talk about. That's gonna do it for the stream. Unfortunately, I was going to do. I was half thinking about reacting to Tony Kakoi this week's episode, but I feel like I will just go along with keeping just keeping it until when it finishes airing and then binge it all the way. I guess so. The shade is more serious than just only parasite vampire stuff. Yeah, well, we'll see how things go down. I was about to say something, but I fucking forgot.
But it's more like 400.
Because, frankly, I am getting distracted by stuff in the back. So me trying to come up with more thorough sort of discussion about it is kind of out of my hands at this point, because someone still thinks I don't need a laptop or for a personal thing. So yeah, much less not even a new iPad or anything. So yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm just gonna hold on to Tonikawa until for later when it maybe finishes airing, or when it's about to finish airing, and then just go ahead with it. And I don't know if it's gonna be a stream or if it's gonna be recorded, but at some point. But that's gonna do it for the stream, and thank you to the few who did come out. I know this isn't really something very lively for Saturdays, but Saturdays don't have a lot of good stuff going on. I was going to, in all, I wish I would do reactions to the new Love Live thing, but I feel like I would get more out of it if I had watched the previous Love Live, finished all the previous Love Live series prior to. But that's not the case. I dove into this series without at the time, without any prior knowledge about prior experience with the previous Love Live series. I had only just dove into them recently this week, earlier this week, and I'm still just kind of steadily going through it. I don't know. I will not know if I want to say this current one is better than the original one. It's definitely way better than the Sunshine one for sure. Well, at least it will seem better because I don't have good vibes from the Sunshine series. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Other than that. So like, share, subscribe, follow me on other social media platforms. You can also join my Discord server. You can also support me on Patreon or PayPal. But that's gonna do it for this edition of anime live stream reactions. And oh yeah, one more thing. I talked about having binge read watches, and I don't know if how regularly I'm gonna do them. But when I do them, when I'm going to plan to do one, I will let you do the community post. Or I'll just ping everyone on the Discord server. I'll just let as much people know, like much people who will follow me on whatever social media platforms. I will let them know as soon as possible. I mean, because it just happens like when I'm in the mood for it. But I have to also have the time for it. Because binges get a little longer than just rewatching reaction. As a streamed reaction is a little longer than rewatching it on your own. So anyways, that's gonna do it. So this is Raihousha-hen signing off. See you next time, guys. Take care, stay safe. Of course, you gotta stay safe. It's a given, but